VTuber Ball got called out by Japan by Hero Hate channel. So like, comment, subscribe, let's watch it.
So we've got a very unfortunate turn of events here with VTuber Bao the Whale and popular Japanese art website Skeb. And it all begins with this now deleted tweet from Bao, where she said,
yeah, it's probably gonna be a very long story, and we're pretty much aware.
With a lot of crying emojis, artists, please ask permission before publicly posting finished commissions. I know you're really excited about finishing a really cool commission, but you might
I read
this
one.
A client's project. So many commissions I just gave up doing anything because it was posted before I could do anything with them. She then followed her take up with,
so I'm aware of a lot of this stuff that has been happening around Bao. I think everyone that is on X is being like very updated about it. But I don't know the order of some things, and that's why I found this video interesting. And I know many of you guys doesn't even is on X, so I thought it would be a good idea to make a video explaining and going through this and talking about this for any of you that still is not aware of what's going on. So yeah, I found this react of Hero Hey that probably is gonna explain the TLDR of everything. And there is this part of Japan that I have no idea about why she's called out by Japan. I don't know about this, so I'm curious, and yeah, let's keep watching.
With another one there in all caps saying that she hates Skeb. I mean, quote, "I hate you, Skeb," unquote. In the screenshots, you can see that it says like an hour ago and 51 minutes ago. That's because these are screenshots that remain on the internet that people posted. But again, I think these tweets were up for a few days and she ultimately did delete them. But Skeb seemed to have found out about these tweets nevertheless, and they were not happy. And so we'll get to Skeb's response, but Bao actually just like 30 minutes ago made a tweet where she was saying that her tweet is not about Skeb. Instead, it's about her general experience with commissioned art. So I'm going to comment on this really quick, and then we'll read Skeb's full response and Bao's full response there, because what I just told you is only like the first sentence of the tweet that's like,
oh my god, that's huge.
Yeah, when I saw Bao's take initially on my timeline, I never saw the second.
I thought he was going to read, but since he's not going to read, I was gonna read this. My original tweet was not about Skeb. It was general experience with commissioned art. My opinion of Skeb was an afterthought. I get why people are thinking the former. I haven't used Skeb for almost a year. My tweet went way out of my circle and understandably lead to a lot of people to think that I was saying to be 100% about Skeb. Yeah, it's really what it looked like, but yeah. It wasn't. The reason why I said I disliked Skeb was due to the option of keeping the commission private on the artist's Skeb profile. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I just don't want my NESFW commissions connected to my Skeb profile. If it's posted on their Twitter with no connection to me, that it's fine. I wonder why. I'm sorry, I'm not good with this stuff. I don't have her size on the internet. I don't know why she's concerned about it. I don't understand. I cannot see why this is a problem. But this is a me problem. I cannot, maybe you guys know. Let me know in the comments. This probably is gonna be one of the videos that you guys explain more stuff to me that I explain to you, maybe. It's a very big and confused situation, everything around Bao recently. And kind of confused because a lot of things also happened quite at the same time. So yeah. Whips that I don't know what that means. Strings, all of it, is fine. As for general commissions, aka what my tweet was originally about, commissions not via any website, if you took the time to see my replies, it was 100% in support of artists, and I continually wished for ways to better serve the purpose of the commission, such as paying for an NDA fee extra costs to keep a commission hidden, etc. It should be kind of a very simple thing. It's incredible. Of course, we all know the value of an NDA, the importance of having one, but people should be professional to not leak a person's data. It's incredible that we need NDAs for this stuff. This is how unprofessional people became nowadays, That's in the artist community, there is a lot of people that are very unprofessional. And if you are in the art community and felt like what I said kind of hurt your feelings, so then don't be too biased, because if you look like without any bias to your community, I'm not saying that you is like that. Only if you are one of those that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the art community is being destroyed, and you guys that are inside are not seeing this clearly. You guys, I'm out of it. I don't draw a figure. I can even draw a circle. Okay, so that's why I'm outside of this artist bubble. So I can tell you guys that the artist community is being destroyed. I've seen quite a lot. And of course, the bad actors trying to, scam people instead of selling art, and people being also like getting terrified on DMs of people trying to sell art and stuff like that, like sales agent or something like that. This also not helps, but this is not even the main problem. There's way more other, like many other problems in the artist community, but this video is not about that. I just thought that it's good to touch this point, because feels like a lot of people have fear to talk about the artist community. I don't know why. Like, people fear to talk about it. I will talk about it. It's insane. Of course, there are many good artists that doesn't have to do with anything, but because they are artists, they has this need to, I need to be side of this community and defend all of the crap of this community. No, you don't. Just be a good professional. Be professional. Damn, is that's too much? Respect respect your client data, your customer data. Respect the accord between you and your customer, the deadline, the scheduled deadline of the stuff that you agreed to work on. Don't create expectations on customers with deadlines that you cannot accomplish. Try to be always to deliver the work always before that, and many other stuff. I will not go through this because we are kind of going off the objective of this video. Okay, maybe I talk about this in another video more specific. I don't know.
The tweet that's like a few paragraphs long. But yeah, when I saw Bao's take initially on my timeline, I never saw the second part about it being about Skeb. So when I was first reading it, I just assumed this was like about commissioning in general, which Bao's now saying that it was about, which is a bit odd because she followed that up by saying she hates Skeb, which implies that it was about Skeb, but now she's saying it's not. Nevertheless, I'll comment on this as simply about commissioning artists, right? So I thought Bao's take was pretty weird because you simply have a discussion with the artist before you commission them about things such as the price, the timeline of like when they might finish it. I don't like to try to ask for a specific date because I think that puts too much pressure on the artist, but I think a general time frame is fair. Like, do you think this will be done in a month, right? And it's like, yes, no, I don't need an exact date, but you kind of work that out with the artist beforehand, right? And so this also applies to when the art's posted. For example, I've had some people in like some of my viewers that ask for the feet pic stuff, and they're totally memeing around, right? It's totally a meme. Nevertheless, I've commissioned some art recently, and one artist I commissioned,
like, I understand in his case he doesn't care for the time limit, but a lot of people do. Imagine like me, for example, I'm a VTuber. Like, imagine I have something planned for like a month, and I need to, maybe the debut of a new version of my model or something, and I need the model until that the deadline that was accorded and agreed by an artist and rigger, and he doesn't, and I'm always, telling everyone that in that day, that will happen, and etc., 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 for like 1 month before or 2 months before, it doesn't matter. And the time limit to reach, and the artist is not ready yet with the, that is stupid. This is so stupid. It is okay. It's okay if you don't feel like you can do that fast. Or let's suppose, I don't know, I'm not an artist, okay, but let's suppose you do this type of work in 1 month. And I'm not even saying in a fast pace or in a slow pace. I'm talking your average pace, you do that in 1 month. Then set for, I don't know, 1 month in 2 weeks. Not 1 month, Put a little bit more time. Don't be afraid of doing that. It's better you agree with a deadline that you can deliver, on time. Instead of being like a lot of people that you see out there that needed the what was commissioned to the data before, the dates before, I'm sorry, the dates before that was accorded, and he still doesn't have what was accorded between you two. That's insane, man. This is so unprofessional. This is so ridiculous. And maybe you guys that are from this community may are thinking that I'm being somehow, because I mean, I don't know, many of you guys from the arts community you're feeling so much easy to be, to be messed with. You're so like very soft. Let's put that way. Soft, okay? So everything mess with your feelings easy. If you, I mean, a lot of people die in this community is like that. So if you're like that, maybe this is not for you. This is supposed to be to you. But I mean, give space to actual artists that are professionals and can do this within the time and proficiency and everything else that their work involves. And yeah, I mean, this type of job, and I'm not saying you guys don't deserve, but this type of job is hella expensive already. Even more from people outside that doesn't, nothing is on dollar. It becomes even more expensive. But even for people US, commissioning like models or stuff like that is so freaking expensive, man. It's so freaking expensive. It's insane. So you have to value, at least if the person is willing to pay so much for the job. And while you guys still think that it's not much, but it is. It's not easy to just like buy art or buy a VTuber model for all that pricey stuff that you guys want. I'm not saying that you guys don't deserve, because you invest a lot of time on that. Okay, so I understand that, but you need to respect your customer time, your customer money, and your customers' work, because they are the ones that you are willing to pay $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for something. They are using that professionally, They need that to work. So be more reasonable, be more respectful, everything now needs a fucking NDA. Of course, it's the right way to do things and etc. But, oh, Jesus Christ, man. Why we need to keep talking? Why in 2025 we need to keep talking? The basics, the common sense inside people's head. Again, why? What's going on with our society? When people became so childish, so immature, then
They had no problem with the art being posted immediately. But another artist I commissioned, they wanted me to wait like a month before I posted the art or before they posted it, because first they post it on their fan box because they have people paying them to get early access to the art. And that's totally cool. Again, as long as it's something that everyone knows about, everyone being the person making the commission and the person getting the commission, work out beforehand by having a simple conversation, well, then everything works out fine. And if you're not okay with their terms, so to speak, you simply be like, okay, thanks for your time, but I'll have to look for a different artist. It's not a big deal. So when Bao was talking
exactly.
about, like artists posting art before she wants them to, I thought that was weird because, again, this is something she should have established with the artist from the very get-go instead of not apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Skeb. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know because I am not a user of this stuff. I don't draw. I don't buy art. Nothing. At least I don't buy art yet. But please, don't flood my DMs, okay? I'm not gonna buy it. And I already have some people I know that I will hire when the time comes. But yeah. Getting back to this, it's more, I mean, looking this way looks like what? Skeb is the platform where they trade this customer professional work. I don't know, okay? I don't know this platform. So, looks like it's that. So if it is, then the fault is on the artist that it's on this platform that was commissioned by Bao, right? Not this Skeb. I mean, I'm supposing it's a platform. Let me search here for a second. So yeah, that's it. Skeb is a platform. I'm sorry guys, I'm not aware of this stuff. Now I am. Okay, I wasn't aware of the existence. I know some platforms that people sell art and stuff, but I wasn't aware of this one. I bet most of you might be surprised, but yeah, I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't. So it's like I said. So probably. I don't know. So since Skeb is the platform, I don't know though how the way this platform works, but she is able to choose like her artist there, right? That she commissioned to. So Skeb is not responsible for that. Okay, I understand what she's trying to say, that should have this option there, but couldn't she just message the person she's hiding and say, please don't post it, etc. Like what she was saying. Why? Oh man. Maybe I will not even blame the artist. Maybe this was her problem. I don't know. Maybe she didn't get in touch with the artist, didn't say anything, and she was expecting to have, like, on the UI, have something to her Mario character, what she wanted, and it wasn't there, I don't know. I don't know if it's the artist's fault. I don't know if it's Bao's fault. And because I don't know well how the platform Skeb works, I don't know if it's Skeb's fault. But let's see Hero Hayes' opinion about it, because he might know. After all, he already commissioned it, or as he was saying, so he might be aware of this.
Apparently doing that and then posting about it on Twitter. Nevertheless, she did later follow that up, as mentioned, with saying that she hates Skeb. And Skeb is a platform I've never used, so I'm not too familiar with their specific way of doing things.
Oh, great. You didn't use it as well.
Skeb after Skeb has responded to her. So let's take a look at Skeb's response, and then we'll take a look at Bao's full response, as mentioned.
Yeah, I think her fault was to throw in the fault at Skeb on this, on the entire platform. I mean, I think it doesn't cost much for them to have this on their UI, but it's not like you couldn't, all the other platforms I know, you can talk with the seller, with the people you are commissioning, etc. Couldn't she just have talked with the person that she was hiring, So I think she's in the wrong for blaming Skeb,
Skeb says, warning, all rights to works on Skeb belong to creators. Clients cannot restrict creators from publishing their works for any reason. This notice is shown at 4 times before sending their first request, and they...
Oh my god. Wow. Okay. I understand, like, copyrights and stuff. I understand that, but the person is paying you to do this stuff. Why you don't, like, accept the terms of your customers? Why do you guys have all those, like, pages, like some has even docs, like with all the rules for you to buy a VTuber model or a rig, for example. I've been looking for a lot of this, you know? And it's so insane how the amount of roles that they choose and etc. The amount of stuff. I understand. I can understand. I imagine that this is like that because there is a lot of terrible customers as well. I don't know that there are not terrible customers. Probably there are, you know? But you guys put so much. I'm not gonna lie. You guys put so much like rules and stuff that damn, we are paying so much and for this stuff, and you guys put so much rules that we don't even. I'm talking about me as a customer, okay? I feel like always when I read their pages of rules, I feel like giving up buying anything. Just because of the rules. I'm not even talking about prices. Just because of the rules. You know?
They cannot proceed unless they check the box agreeing to it. So as mentioned, I've never used Skeb, but that would make it very clear, you know, how that works. We can see those 4 boxes, including the highlighted one that reads, the copyright of the work belongs to creator. It is prohibited to specify or restrict the publication, and it gets cut off, but presumably it says like of the work or something like that. And they go on to say again right here, please do not restrict creators' activities in a way that exceeds the rules stipulated by the service. In this context, of course, creator is not referring to like the streamer as the creator. This is referring to the artist as the creator. And then another highlighted area that reads, you cannot specify the range of publication of works and specify the delivery period that is shorter than the PER gets cut off once again. Let's read the next highlighted areas here. For deadline of the request, it is a violation of the terms for the client to specify the publication date and time.
I think that will still appear a new platform somewhere, somehow, if there is still not one out there yet, that the customer will have way more power about what they buy for artists there than these all other platforms. And the artists will not have a choice if not flock to there. Because the customers will not be willing to pay to buy their arts or that stuff in any other platform within time. Would be like YouTube or something. Probably because it's not how things works, okay? All the services, everything are always customer focused. It's not creators focused. It's like YouTube works, by the way. It's like Twitch works. It's, you know? And down, these big corporates, they don't even care too much about the customers. What's more like the creators, you know? Like, so, yeah, I think, of course, I bet the bigger ones would need to go to platforms like that because they already made their career. But I'm talking about the average artists and the ones that are not so skilled and is still beginning and fighting for their space, you know? Because of all this bullshit. Because there are always people complaining. Every time I see on X, a lot of times I see on X, people complaining about artists. A lot of times. It's all the time, every day. It became meme already.
And types of requests. Creators can freely publish on social networks and fansigns without permission from the clients. So this is some pretty strict stuff, but again, at least they make it very clear what you're getting into if you want to use Skeb. And if you're not okay with these terms, you know, then you simply don't use them. For example, Bao talking about how her commission was essentially ruined because the artist posted it before she wanted to be posted, and then she couldn't do anything with it, which is very vague, and we don't know contextually like what exactly she's talking about here. But you can clearly see how something like that would not work with Skeb's terms of service, despite how she's now saying that it's not actually about Skeb. Her take's not actually about Skeb, apparently, even though she attached to her tweet that she hates Skeb, which made everyone...
Yeah, now I understand that it's also about Skeb, yeah. Yeah. I still don't know, however, with whom I agree. I'm just giving my opinion as a future customer because I will have to, you know, to work at some time, not now, but probably in the max, I don't know, 6 months to 1 year, probably we'll need to work with artists, start to work with artists and stuff. And And it's complicated. I'm seeing already that it's too much complicated because it's like I said, I've seen people have a lot of troubles with it. They demand so much rules. It's not like cheap. It's expensive. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's too much complicated.
Everyone think that she's talking about Skeb, and now some people don't believe her when she's saying that it's not actually about Skeb, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself with that. We'll get to more of that in a moment. And like I said in the intro, this is a very unfortunate situation, and I don't like seeing Bao in this situation, but at the same time, she did bring this entirely on herself. All she had to do was not make that initial tweet. It's really, really unfortunate. And I say this with the most respect and kindness to people out there. It's a general, a general bit of advice, so to speak. Some people do too much on Twitter, guys. Sometimes tweeting less is the right move. Skeb goes on to post, Skeb is fundamentally different from Western art commission platforms. It's a creator support platform rooted in Japan's Sukebu culture, where artists draw illustrations on the spot at doujinshi conventions. Skeb is not a stock material marketplace. Over 30% of users are now from overseas. We sincerely thank everyone abroad who understands our terms and policies carefully and supports creators. Important. Only we may issue warnings or impose penalties for violations of our terms and policies. When misinformation spreads, we will contact the parties involved directly. Vigilant actions or attacks are strictly prohibited. Thank you for your understanding. Addendum. So now we can theorize a little bit because this is very interesting.
Well, if this stuff is on their terms of service, then the wrong one is Bao. Like, there is no way to defend this, you know? If it was there already, and she's complaining about something that were in that terms of service, then she cannot complain, because she accepts that when hired the artist there.
When Skeb talks about how they will reach out to parties involved,
even though I find that this is wrong, you know, and all of that, you know, because she's still paying that person, and the person can't like respect her cost, like the customer's like timeline, you know, deadline, and the time that the person, you know, allows this to be posted and stuff like that. Like, it's insane, man. It's insane.
Directly, because if I recall, Bao's take was up for a few days before she deleted it, and it seems like not long after she deleted it,
But what this has to do with Japan? It's because Skeb is Japanese? It's just it? Or it's gonna evolve yet because there is still in the half of video.
Skeb come out with this statement that very clearly seems to be implied to be about Bao's tweet, as it did get seen a lot and shared a lot on Twitter. And so I do wonder if Skeb reached out to her initially and then she deleted her tweet, and now we see this response from them. Skeb wasn't even done there either. They even made a whole other tweet about this, saying, Skeb doesn't and will not.
I was going to talk about Fiverr. Fiverr is more on customer side of it, because I was searching for play. I am already searching, even though I was still not hiring one. I'm always taking a look in sites like VGen, for example, Fiverr, and etc. Yeah. Fiverr has way better conditions for customers. Way, way, way better conditions for customers. And there's a lot of artists there, you know? And that's probably where I gonna find mine.
Not support commercial use.
But I don't know, I'm still thinking in the future, maybe hire some people that I already know on my ex, for example, that I know already have been talking for quite a long time.
Requests, e.g. character design and thumbnails. Please consider using Fiverr, VGen, or Schema, and
will all depend of price and conditions at the end. That's how capitalism works.
Finally, they say, quote-unquote support refers to functions focused on commercial use requests, such as pricing plans, quality assurance, or NDA found on other commission platforms. We apologize for our poor English. Please take this opportunity to check the client guidelines. With all that context, we now have Bao's response from just about an hour ago. She says, my original tweet was not about Skeb. It was my general experience with commissioned art. My opinion of Skeb was an afterthought. I get why people are thinking the former. I haven't used Skeb for almost a year. My tweet went way out of my circle and understandably led to a lot of people to think what I was saying was 100% about Skeb. It wasn't. The reason why I said I disliked Skeb was due to the option of keeping the commission private on the artist Skeb profile. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I just don't want my NSFW commissions connected to my Skeb profile. If it's posted on their Twitter with no connection to me, that's fine. Work in process, streams, all of it is fine. As for general commissions, aka what my tweet was originally about, commissions not via any website, if you took the time to see my replies, it was 100% in support of artists, and I continually wished for ways to better serve the purpose of the commission, such as paying for an NDA fee, extra cost to keep a commission hidden, etc. I understand why this confused artists, but even in my replies, I did not spread misinformation about Skeb. I'm aware of how the site works, albeit through a lot of trial and error, but this is the common experience, and I'm allowed to say it isn't my preference. This part where she says if you took the time to see my replies seems to be an unfair and unrealistic standard to have on people. Like, say what you want to say in your initial tweet, your full take, in the initial tweet or the ones that are directly attached to it, but you can't then expect everyone to just spend all the time going through all the responses to look for something that they don't even know is there, and then to hold that against them. Bao added on to her take saying, "I'm very sorry for the stir it caused. What is not my cup of tea can still be yours, but I should be more aware of my influence, and that's no excuse. No matter my issues, art is meant to be human, and I would rather deal with a few hiccups than resort to AI. Also, I was emailed a violation of terms of service, so took down my tweet." Okay, so that's exactly what we were speculating about earlier. And she goes on to say, "There wasn't any clarification in the email, but since I haven't used Skeb in almost a year, I assumed it was because of it." As you can see, this response near the top says, "I think you should be mindful of what you write." Following up with, quote unquote, "I hate Skeb," very, very strongly implies they're a big culprit in the post. It also generates general negativity because hate is a strong word. And Bao says, "That's on me. I should have clarified in the follow-up tweet and not replies," which also kind of goes back to the criticism I had of her tweet just a minute ago. So at least she is owning up to that. A few more responses here we'll take a look at, where the next one reads, "I saw it and just thought it was you having a moment of frustration. I'm sorry it left your bubble and just became another reason to criticize you." She says, "It really was never that deep." And this one says, "At this point, girl, you could say I like cats and people are going to scream you hate dogs. Why do they read so far into the tweets like that?" This is such a crazy thing to say because the issue is not with people reading too much into the tweet like this person is saying. It's very clearly an issue with how the tweet.
It's probably because of the other shit that she done about, all the other stuff about her being misandrist and etc, etc, etc. Those things that we are aware already and that I disclosed a bit about in that YaBoiSheen video. If you didn't watch it, go watch it there. I think it's from 2 days ago. You can find it easily on the channel. Looking for video. If I remember, I will put on the card somewhere below, right on these points. But yeah, it's not easy, not difficult to find where we disclose more about this stuff. But I think on the video we discuss a bit more about Shondo than Bao itself. But yeah, we also talk about Bao there. But I'm trying to not mix things, and this is what I did. We are looking only at this Skeb situation. And to be honest, it's kind of complicated. It's more complicated than what it seems. It's not just rightfully blame her, okay? Of course, if this was already on their rules and she hired an artist there and didn't pay attention on that, it's the rights. I understand it's the right of the artist because it's on the platform. She accepted that when hired the artist. I comprehend that. But the artist is being hired and commissioned by this VTuber. Why the artist cannot respect the customer that is paying for the art's will, of not post, just like what she said, independent of what the platform says. It's you and your customer. It's you and your customer. You should respect them. So you get more commissions, so you get recommendations, all of this stuff. Oh my god, I don't even know why I need to say this. This is so obvious. So, and I think Skeb is also wrong because I fucking hate this type of conduct. of platforms like this one. So I think the three are wrong. It's my opinion.
Tweets were structured, and attaching to the initial complaint how Bao said that she hates Skeb. Anyways, Bao responds to that person saying, I used to get 3,000 likes and maybe like 20 retweets. I don't know why this keeps happening. On the flip side, a lot of people seem to think that Bao's not being honest with claiming it wasn't about Skeb. In other words, they think it was about Skeb. For example, this one responding to Bao saying, me when I lie, and posting where she had said,
Yeah, I think she shouldn't like have tried to come back on this, Like it's interesting. Like the things that she should apologize or come back, like the terrible ones that she said before, she didn't. And in things like this, like this one that she shouldn't, like she did. It's insane. It's not like she was right anyway, but she's not wrong for hating Skeb. That I didn't like at any of those like terms that most of those terms that like it's insane, man. It's insane. I don't know. I never saw. You guys can say what you will, but I never saw any type of service succeed not focusing on the person that is providing the service and not on the customer. I never see any kind of service like succeed do this. So I don't know. God, this is so insane, man.
That she hates Skeb. Bao then says, post my replies, dog, and gets a response from someone with a dog profile pic. That's actually kind of hilarious. But this person posts where Bao had said, I hate Skeb with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform. And then this would get a follow-up from someone else who posts the full conversation there, which had the context of this person, Zazzy, saying if you use VGen, there is a terms of service and options usually saying if the artist is allowed to post or if you need to pay a confidentiality fee. Everywhere else, though, it can be pretty dicey. Bao says, I actually do not use VGen. And this other person, Silver, saying it's pretty cool. I've been working on VGen for like 2 years already, and you can find really good stuff. To which Bao then made that follow-up take, once again, that reads, I hate Skeb with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform. And I don't really see how all of this is really helping Bao's case about it apparently not being about Skeb, where she says, like, post the replies. I don't think this is helping as mentioned unless I'm missing something here. But let me know what you think. I would also like to point this out really quick, where
she should try Fiverr. Also because, like, as a content creator VTuber, it protects your name, your data, because the platform gets your money and your data and only passes the money to the artist after he delivered the art, after he delivering the work. Then you choose to liberate this is what I read, okay? I never used any of this. But I'm researching so that's why I know, because I did a research about Fiverr before. And you decide when you gonna liberate the money for that person when the work is done,
where Bao says, my tweet went way out of my circle. I don't understand how someone who is in a public-facing position, like a streamer, especially one who's successful, to compliment Bao. She's a very successful streamer. She's high profile in the streamer niche, excuse me. Point being, I don't understand how someone in that sort of position could even expect to make a tweet that's only going to stay in the so-called quote-unquote inner circle or whatever, however that's defined. Like, dude, you've got a lot of people that follow you and a lot of people that are interested in what you say. Again, I say that as a compliment to her. But that therefore means if you make a public statement, you can't expect it to just stay in your inner circle. Again, however that's supposed to be defined. In the quote tweets, we can see that a lot of people think Bao's lying. For example, this one that says, lie and try to delete your tweets because you're a freaking liar. And this one that says, girl, I respect your work, but they're destroying you in the quote tweets. Here's someone who was defending her earlier tweets. And they say, I stand by me defending her earlier tweet. But this one's really dumb. Like, come on, lol. I do not buy that you suddenly mentioned Skeb for...
Yeah, like, the point of she's trying to come back and all of that, like... Oh my god, this was so ridiculous. What so dumb choice.
For an entirely different reason and complaint when the tweet very much read as a Skeb jab. I'm really trying to look for some tweets that are defending Bao entirely so we could have some, like, differing opinions here. But as you can see, it looks like the majority of people in the quote tweets are not really having her response. They're not really believing it. It just goes on and on, like this one saying, yeah, no, again, with backpedaled excuses.
Yeah. Yeah, her previous actions doesn't help her, you know? Her previous actions doesn't help her. People didn't forget that because it was like too close in time, was right, you know? So, yeah, that doesn't help her as well. And also, like, she tried to come back on that, like, was so, like, oh my god, it took her away, like, so many points on that it just kinda, and it's insane. I still think, I still was thinking that a lot of people took her defense on this, but it doesn't look like, and it's insane because even though she was wrong and come back on the tweets, like, she's not entirely wrong alone. Like, after all, she's not only willing to pay for the artist to, you know, to put an NDA and everything, you know, but what she said about the platform is not actually wrong. Those terms are crap, okay? These are my opinion, like reading that. It protects too much the artist. What about the customer? Of course, I know the artist needs some degree of protection, but aren't you guys going too far? That looks too much. Come on. You're paying like thousands of dollars for an art, and you do not even own the art. You know? The person did this. Of course, the person did that, but you paid so much to the artist to be too much free to decide what to do with the art you paid for, or whatever it is. If it's a VTuber model, you know what, or etc., or even in most cases your data. Like it's insane, man. It's insane. Like. So that's why for this one, like different from everyone, I will not cook her for this. I will not for this, but for all the other stuff, yes.
Let's see this one. In particular, I hate you, Skeb. What about this one? Quote, if you took the time to look at my replies on quote, as if she hadn't posted a huge wall of text followed by hating on Skeb and still blaming other people for misinterpreting her. I'm sorry for her fans, but this is making me actively dislike her. The next one saying reality can be whatever I want. Line is just as easy as breathing, perhaps easier. Yeah, there's not really a single quote tweet that I've seen that's just like fully defending her. As you can see, this is essentially all the quotes are. So let's go back to the direct responses really quick. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Just as I say that, I think we found a defense tweet. It reads, or defense quote tweet. I think this is a good response and I'm glad to hear it. I will continue to stand on business that if you if you CM me, commission me. Okay, dude. What the heck? I expect you to communicate your needs as far as hiding the art goes. That being said, I can accommodate most reasonable requests or provide an NDA for a small fee. But yeah, after that one, it's just back to essentially non-stop people not believing her, saying she has like no accountability and stuff, just saying it's damage control. If we leave the quote tweets and go back to the direct responses to her tweet, we can see that people are a bit more split. For example, this response reading, "Girl, I feel like people don't read what you say, it's scary." And this one that reads, "People were too cruel to you about it. I think it went out of your circle due to your other tweet from a few days ago too. I hate the dog."
No, the name of this is accountability. She said what she said. I don't think she was too much wrong on that. That platform, like, those rules sucks, okay? It's my opinion. It's my opinion. I will probably not, like, look for the platform to do something. I mean, there are plenty of platforms out there. Why would we use a platform with such strict and strange rules that take away all my power as a customer of someone that is putting money on the platform? Why would I do that with so many other platforms out there, as they say it themselves? So they are too much comfortable. And you guys know exactly what happens with platforms that are too much comfortable, you know? We've seen like what's happened with Twitch, for example. It serves to show that no one is totally like protected, you know, of prejudice. So yeah, they were too much comfortable in getting like a huge customer with a lot of money that could be keep spent on the platform, and like just posting a lot of other different platforms for them to use. They are too much comfortable, you know? They are too much comfortable. It's time to customize to people. It's time to make them feel a bit uncomfortable, you know? Just a bit. What she shouldn't have done, and for this, like, it's... I think this is probably the main reason that everyone is cooking her is because she went back on what she said. You know, that's not, like... You don't do that. If you already say, don't try to dismiss it like if you didn't. You know, just say, it's preferable you say like you're wrong and you apologize, it was not like that, or because you say that in the heat of the moment, but don't try to pretend that it never exist or that wasn't what you was trying to say. Like, you know, like, don't do that.
Piling, especially when it wasn't that serious to begin with. And this one's saying, I'm so sorry. This got blown way out of proportion. The internet can be so unkind sometimes. So yeah, that was some differing opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments. And we've actually got one more statement from Bao from about 20 minutes ago. As she says, I haven't been acting like myself at all. I feel that this year poisoned me deeply. And I'm not able to focus on anything but all the negatives. It's all I can think about, and it's not fair to air it out in a space that's trying to heal. I am impulsive and don't think things through. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and that is a
I can identify with the impulsive part. I can.
terrible combination. It's irresponsible and really dangerous. I'm very sorry. At worst, I'm dumb as heck, not malicious. Well, as you
I'm very impulsive as well. I bet one day I will be the reason that someone would be talking about, you know, on YouTube or on X or whatever, because I'm impulsive as well, and I would probably say some shit as well and be burned to dust for it. But I'm pretty confident that I will not just like end up in the hospital like depressed or whatever. No, I'm sorry, I said that. No, you see, now I'm gonna be cooked. Like, I'm not saying specifically. I just thought later, I swear that I only thought later about Shonda. I wasn't thinking about her when I said that. I'm being honest here, but you think what too. I didn't thought about her. I just remembered about that after saying that. But yeah, take this as you will. I'm saying like in the sense of, because everyone does that and then suddenly it's like traumatized and burned out or whatever it is because of the negative feedback. Of course, this does affect us. I believe that when this helps with me, it will affect me as well, but you have to stand for what you've done, you know? If you made something wrong, instead of the contrary of some content creators told me, like, to not do, yes, I will do that. I would, like, just apologize. And if everyone would still try to burn me to ashes after that, it's up to them. I don't care. And I would just continue to do my thing. Yeah, that's it.
You guys saw throughout my coverage, I do have my own criticisms for her statements and how she handled all of this. But that said, I'm inclined to believe her when she says that she's not acting like herself or feeling like herself lately. So I hope this is the end of the arc where she's become like Bao the hot take tweeter, and this is now the return of Bao the whale. And that is all the main stuff for this one, including some differing public reception towards her statements. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments. And as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, so what to say about this? Like, I'm impressed that I made this a 50 minutes video. I don't know if you guys gonna enjoy this, but yeah, I'm expressed everything I thought about this. I didn't understood yet how Bao was called out by Japan. It was just because she was called by Skeb. Yeah, it's very like attractive title, but I mean, it's not all Japan. It's just Skeb, like a company. Yeah, a platform, but whatever. And before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, for the incredible support to my work here on YouTube, and especially my Three-Tailed Fox tier members, Awenydd, Fenny Sylvy, Heath Rowell, Zalost, Taiashi, SuccubusBait, and your Eaton. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to everyone who donated to me through Tron and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon, link is in the description below. That's it, I think we talked too much. I was about to say something but I forgot. And I will not CC try to remember because when I forget something, oh my god, that's terrible, man. I will not fight my brains now. It's like 10 p.m. I will still have to edit this, so yeah. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check the links below, Patreon, Discord, Skillfull, and support me so I can get the fuck out of this terrible nightmare that is my culture, and I see you my Death Fox links on the next one. Bye. And that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. じゃあまたね